What is going on, juicers? How you living? Guys, welcome to the show. On this episode, I am joined by one of my favorite photographers in the music industry. He takes photos, not recently because of COVID, but he's a concert photographer, and he's done work with bands like A Day to Remember, Bring Me the Horizon. He's shot some big name bands like Metallica, Slipknot, just all those metal bands and stuff like that. So I've been a real big fan of his work for probably like 6 years now. And he's a really cool dude, man. I was surprised that he responded to my email saying that he was down to do the podcast. So it was dope. It was really fun. However, I do want to preface the episode with saying that the Zoom podcasts are pretty rough. The quality of Zoom is absolute garbage. Tried to screen record the video, and it was real choppy, so it didn't look the best. So I will not be adding the video. I'll just have like a little photo of him on the side. And then there was a couple parts in the audio on his end where there was some feedback. I'm going to do my best to kind of lower the volume on certain parts, but yeah, the Zoom podcasts aren't typically my favorite way to go about a podcast. This is my second one that I've done. So I hope you guys just bear with me on this episode. I had a good time. It's kind of a short episode, so just keep that in mind. Without further ado, guys, please welcome Adam Elmakias. Sorry, there we go. All right, man. So just like that, we are here.
Okay.
Adam Elmakias. That's how you say it, right?
You got it.
Cool, man.
Got it, man.
So well, for people who don't know, for my listeners, I've been a fan of yours for quite some time, honestly. Since probably like 2014 was when I kind of really figured out who you were and found out who you were. Just based off of, A Day to Remember in that band. And that's pretty much where I, found you. And then once I seen you and I kind of like looked up your work and I was like, dude, this guy's taking some badass pictures of this band, dude. That's crazy. How'd you, no problem, man. So I've been a fan, my friend Jason as well. And, like I said in the emails, we actually met at the first self-help festival. And dude, that was an experience. You know what I mean? It was dope.
Yeah, self-help was crazy, huh?
The first year. Festival. Yeah. It was. I believe that one was 2014, March of 2014.
This was Bring Me, right?
Yeah, they were there.
Yeah, so they were doing the Parks and Devastation tour, and I think that was part of the run.
Oh, was it? Okay, yeah, there were some great bands there.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah, so that was dope.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, so, like I said, for people who don't know who you are, you're a badass photographer. You've been doing it for quite some time now, right?
Yeah, it's been a bit. It's like I think we're at like 16 or almost 17 years.
Wow, that's insane. And if you don't mind me asking you, how old are you? You look
I'm
fairly
31.
young. 31? Nice. Hell yeah, dude. So still going strong. So
I feel it too, and I act it as well. So
yeah, I'm sure. Especially if you're hanging out with all those dudes from the videos that they post. God damn. I was. It's funny actually. I was watching Neil's live stream a couple days ago, and he was just sharing.
How's it going?
It was, dude. You know what? It was very cool. Like just watching him play along with the songs and stuff like that. So it was cool. But he was showing like YouTube videos of them as a band, and I was like, oh, dude, if anyone's hanging out with these guys. Come on, you got to be in that that silly mindset to just be a part of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
dude,
anyways,
it's definitely like family working with them.
Yeah, for sure. It seems like it.
Good people to exist around.
They seem like they're very like welcoming, and probably just like most other bands. So I was just curious because obviously you said you've been doing it for about 16 years. When did you really get into photography, or like how did you kind of get into it?
Well, I started in high school. I was shooting for the school yearbook, and I was also going to a lot of concerts. So I obtained a camera through yearbook class. It was just a camera. It was not a nice camera.
Yeah.
And I started taking it with me to concerts and shot the concerts. And at
Nice.
the time, I had a school, a really small concerts, like 20 people.
Yeah, yeah.
I had a school counselor working with me. I was like needing help in school, so and he was an astrophotographer, and he kind of introduced me to cameras, introduced me to a website that you can do challenges on, and I started learning through those challenges and going to and shooting for school projects and going to concerts, getting in for free, and that was kind of how I took pictures of my friends and stuff as well. Like basically
Yeah.
started taking pictures of everything.
Right, right, right. Yeah,
That's kind of how I got started.
I knew a couple people who actually earlier I mentioned my buddy Jason. He
Mm-hmm.
also knows who you are. We kind of figured you out together, me and him, and he actually did
You
get
figured
into.
me out.
Yeah, well, we found who you were, and
No, it's all good.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
fine.
and he. I think it was when, yeah, really it was when we met you because he has a photo with you too. But he was
Oh,
like, dude,
cool.
that's so dope, man. Cause like, I think he got into photography for a while. And then, I don't know if he
Mm-hmm.
still does it. He's moved away. I think he moved to Texas, but, yeah, either way, dude, you kind of inspired him to do photography for a short amount of time, but
Oh, that's cool.
yeah,
Well,
it
tell
was
him I said
dope.
what's up. That's
I will.
awesome.
I'm sure he's going to be listening to this too. I mentioned to him that you said you were down for the podcast. And I was like, dude, he was like, no way, dude. And I was like, I know, bro. Which, by the way, thanks again, dude. I'm stoked to be talking to
Of
you.
course. I
Um,
appreciate you following, what you want to do and,
hell yeah.
reaching out to people. That's awesome.
Yeah, I was actually I was pretty nervous because it is one of those like little things because the show really revolves around like just me talking to friends and me just shooting the shit and just having a good time with some
Hmm.
people. So and then I was like, you know what, dude, I kind of want to try and branch out and maybe just try and talk to some cool people. I followed you and I saw how engaging you were with your followers on Twitter. So I was like, oh, you know what, dude, maybe
Hmm.
I'll just send him a message. I went on your Instagram and I saw your email, which by the way, you're not very active on Instagram.
No, I don't really use it much anymore.
Yeah.
I'm like, I got my own stuff to figure out on there. I just took it down because I was like, I don't know. As a photographer, I just like started not liking a lot of my stuff, and I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do there, and I just haven't sorted it out yet. But
Oh,
I'll
okay.
figure it out eventually.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure. But I mean, do you think that with your photos, do you kind of just like you're really hard on your like self critique when it comes to your shots?
100%.
Yeah,
But I think it's a necessary. Well, I wouldn't even consider it evil. Evil. I would just consider it. That's my like just strive to do better and get better. Is like, I want to do the best I can possibly do, and I don't like to share the stuff that I don't think is my best
yeah,
because that's what I want. I want people to see what I love, and
yeah,
I don't know. I haven't shot in a while, so usually it's like every year I'm like, oh, I don't like anything I shot that
yeah.
was older than a year ago with the selective a few, and now we haven't shot in over a year, or almost feels like that, and I just
It
don't
really
have
does.
work that I enjoy. So I'll
Yeah,
figure it out.
So that's a perfect segue into what I was going to ask because everyone's talking about it.
Hmm.
How did the pandemic really halt your work? Because obviously you're always on. I don't know if you're always, but it seems like you're touring with these bands or you're taking shots of these bands. So
Hmm.
obviously no concerts are happening. So how has that been a struggle for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's affected me on all different levels, whether it be professional, personal, physical, mental.
Yeah.
Obviously, the touring's out the door. There aren't any tours anymore right now. And then, in addition to that, I have an agency that books photographers and videographers on tours,
Yeah.
and we had a few things done for that, and those are gone. So
Yeah.
I can't really meet up with people. I'm in LA. The main reason I'm here is to meet with people and network, and that
Cool.
doesn't exist anymore.
I know
So
it's
basically,
touchy.
everything is just done.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's definitely been a struggle, and I was especially when I was on that live stream with Neil. He was saying, "Oh my God, like he's playing along with the songs, and he was like, I miss the obviously the concerts." So I'm like, dude, you probably are missing that too because that's really your work, right? That's where you get most of your content is concerts
yeah,
in general.
yeah, I
But
love concerts, man.
yeah, for sure. And then, so I saw that you don't only do concerts, right? I think on your website,
Mhm.
you've done like weddings and stuff like that. Is that just for like your close friends, or is that just like, you know, just randoms?
I mean, I've done some wedding stuff. I've never been hired to shoot a wedding by somebody I don't know. I
Oh,
don't
okay.
shoot. I'm a music photographer, but I really just enjoy photographing like these people's lives.
Yeah.
So for example, when my friends have babies and they're in bands that I've worked with, I'll go and photograph them with their kids. Or
Yeah.
like I shoot a lot of stuff that I don't really post or have relationships with these people that, in my opinion, run deeper than what I share on the internet. But so I'm shooting like Alex from A Day to Remember's wedding in 2 weeks.
No
I'm
way.
shooting, yeah. So and it's like a 6-person wedding or something. Like it's very
Oh,
small because it's
yeah.
obviously right now.
It's got to
I
be
shot,
pretty small.
yeah, I shot like a guy. There's a guy who worked for me for like 7 years with some of my merch, and I shot his wedding last week in Vermont. We drove out there. It was a long drive,
Damn.
and
Dude, that's
yeah,
crazy. And
so it's
you
fun.
you said you just moved, right? So you moved to California?
Well, I moved to LA like a year ago, and before that, I was in San Diego. And I'm gonna go to San Diego briefly just to wait out Corona, and then I'll be back in LA. But I'm just going down there. Well, I'm not really shooting much, and I can't really meet up with people here, and it's quite expensive.
Yeah.
So there's just a lot of factors that come into play where San Diego makes a little bit more sense briefly, with
Yeah.
the intention of coming back here once work picks up.
I think I even heard that San Diego, the COVID rate or whatever, is fairly low for, how populated that area is. So probably is a good place to go
It's
and
so
chill.
spread out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I
Um
had a lease on like an apartment there, so it's a really easy move. Just go
yeah,
back,
for sure.
just retreat.
And where are you from? I just saw when you're did you just post an Instagram post saying you were leaving somewhere? I can't remember.
I was in Madison, Wisconsin, which is where I'm
That's what
from.
it was. Yeah, yeah. Oh, so you're from there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was there
Nice.
for, yeah, I'm from Madison, Wisconsin. Well, actually, I'm born in Redwood City, so up by you. But
Whoa.
moved to,
You born in Redwood City?
yeah,
No way. I live in
there we
Redwood City.
go.
That's where I was born too. That is
That's
so
so funny.
sick.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah,
Hell
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Small world.
No
Yeah,
way.
that's where I
That's
was
so
born. We
cool.
lived in Palo Alto. But
No
moved when I was like,
way.
moved in like 91 when I was 2 years old.
That is so sick, dude.
Small
What a
world, though.
small world. Holy crap. That's insane. Shit, dude, you're even that much cooler now. Damn, that's dope. So,
That's funny.
when did you move out to Wisconsin? Just
I
with
mean,
your.
when I was two,
Oh,
yeah, I
okay.
was really
So,
young.
yeah, with your
I don't
family.
remember living in Redwood City.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's nothing to really remember here, anyways. So you're good. Um, but damn, that's crazy. So then, okay, so we're kind of jumping a little all over the place, but whatever.
I
When
don't care.
you
Do
when you
you?
started doing photography and you started doing concerts and stuff like that, did you
Hmm.
were when these bands that you shoot with or you shoot for, when like would you just wait for them to come to your town and then you would just take shots there? Or did you like
Yeah,
kind of
basically.
travel to go see them and then you just took photos and stuff like that?
I mean, I traveled a few hours sometimes.
Oh, okay.
As I got older, when I was 16, 17, I'd go to Milwaukee, which is about 70 miles, which is very, very far for me at the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't drive much. I was a very anxious person, so driving that far was like, I don't know how to explain how much my palms sweat for those drives, but it was
Oh,
like
yeah.
so hard to do. And then I did Chicago too once I got a little older, like when I was 18.
Okay.
And so I'll go to
So,
those places to shoot the bands when they came through.
yeah, yeah, and then so after you take the photos and stuff like that, how do you just curious on like how you kind of approached and made your way into working with the big bands because like I mean, I'm sure there's a ton of photographers at concerts and stuff like that and you kind of just like slipped through the loophole right there and just became really good friends with these guys. So I'm just curious how that works cuz like when you take the photos, are you do you like approach the band and say like, "Hey, I got these photos. Do you want to buy them or, do you just want them and maybe I can work for you in the future?" You know what I mean?
I mean, when I was starting, it was a much different world than it is now. So
Right.
the way I did everything is not honestly possible anyway. It just wouldn't work. Like, when I started, MySpace was the thing. It was just starting out. And it wasn't Flickr, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, all the things that have happened since.
Right.
So the only outlet, there wasn't even an outlet for the photos, honestly. Like you would take them and send them to the artists and they would use them for MySpace.
Mhm.
So I would just go to the shows and there weren't that many photographers. There was only ever a handful. especially because where I lived, and people would always give you press passes because nobody would hit up and ask for them.
Right,
And I would
right.
just go and I would give them the photos and just say, yeah, next time you come through, I started making relationships with people, their publicists or their managers. And next time they come through, I'd go shoot. And with the Day to Remember specifically, I was connected to them through another photographer from Florida.
Wow.
And then Alex, actually, I met up with Alex at the show. And then I shot with them after like sometimes I'd ask them to do photo shoots after the show. And that was not a common thing back then. So
Right.
it was a lot easier to get my foot in the door.
What year was that too? That must have been like early 2010s.
2006.
Oh, wow.
2006.
Yeah, damn.
2007.
That's
So
crazy.
I graduated high school in 2007, if that helps. So I started shooting in like 2004, 2005.
Okay. Damn, dude, that's dope.
Yeah.
So you kind of already felt the confidence to shoot for them. That's pretty sick.
I mean, they weren't the size band they were now. But
That's
they were
actually,
then. They
yeah,
were a
that's
lot
actually
smaller.
also really true. Damn, I'm
They were
thinking
like the venues I saw, They Remember at were like, 100, 200
smaller
people.
ones. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I remember one of my buddies, or a couple of my buddies, like when I was in middle school, like 2009, I think Homesick had just come out, and like they went to the show, and I wasn't even into the band back then, but they were like, dude, this band's so sick. I was like still just not into Screamo, so it wasn't my thing. Not even
Yeah.
Screamo, just that kind of music, but
Yeah.
damn, I mean, that's sick. And then, so that's pretty much your primary band that you shoot, you would say?
I would say it's the band I've been with the longest, but
Oh, okay, I
and
see.
yeah, I guess the primary. But yeah, I bounced around a lot because for a while in the early 2009, 10, 11, 12, there wasn't a lot of people doing this, so I was able to bounce around.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's
through-
sick.
through a lot
I
of
mean,
different
everyone's going to want some sweet photos of them when they're on stage, that's for sure. So
I know, right?
you
It
you
was
seem like
different
the
back
guy. Yeah, yeah. And then,
Thanks, man.
so what I was going to ask was when you take like the photos of these bands and stuff, are you like actually on tour with them, or do you just like, hey, you guys are gonna be in this town, I can fly out and meet you there, or you just
Wait,
actually
now or then?
no, just or really whenever. Like, did you actually go on tour? Like, you dedicated their tour to your time, and you just flew with them all over the place?
Yeah, I would say from 2009 to 2018, I mostly toured.
Oh wow.
So I toured with a lot of different artists,
Yeah.
mostly like Warped Tour kind of bands, a few others like Diplo, Major Lazer in the past few years. But
Nice, dude.
um,
Yeah, I was
yeah,
scrolling
I
through
travel
your.
with them.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good, man.
I was just gonna say, I was going through your photos on your website, and dude, I didn't know that you shot for. I mean, maybe they're just like your own personal photos for your portfolio or whatever, but like Slipknot and Metallica, those shots are so fucking sick, dude. Those are badass. And like the fact that you got like super close to them, or maybe you're using like a zoom lens, I don't know, but that must
Yeah,
have
they
been
all have interesting stories. But
yeah.
yeah, most of those are so I haven't toured with either of those bands, but we'll play when I tour with the Dead Remember, we play a lot of festivals with the same artists over and over
Right,
for
right.
months. And those are some of those artists that we played with, and then you meet their crew and you talk to them and they'll let you come shoot. Metallica, no, I snuck into Metallica, but the other stuff was like
Yeah.
more.
Were you
more legitimate.
were you with them on the house party tour? That tour must have been probably crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah. That one was a
I
cool one.
covered all that. That was like a lot of bands. I think I covered what was it? Them, All Time Low, and Pierce.
That's right.
that.
Yeah, yeah. And then
was a fun
also
tour.
I saw that you were taking photos of them when they were with All Time Low and Blink. That was sick. Those
Yeah.
shots were sick. Those
I
ones
just
that
did a few shows on that one.
Oh, really? Yeah, the shots that you have on your website of Travis Barker, those are so badass. From behind and you just, see the crowd. Those are sick. I was like,
Mhm.
dude, these are fucking badass. But other than that, well, really not other
Thank
than
you.
that, I kind of want to get back to photography, but I'm just curious on how life's been I mean, like, how's your health doing? Did you ever have like a COVID scare or anything like that? Because, everyone's freaking out.
I'm pretty strict on everything I do, so there's not really an opportunity for me to have COVID. I do live with like 3 roommates right now, and that is one of the main reasons I'm moving is because I just don't blame them, but at the same time, I can't be responsible for like 3 people's individual lives.
Yeah.
And,
You can't be like,
so I'm
you
moving
can't
to
leave.
a place where what'd you say?
I was just saying, you're probably like, you can't leave. Like, you can't. Yeah, I get that. You can't do that.
I mean, we had strict rules when it started, but they've kind of become more lenient now, and I don't exactly agree with it. So my way of controlling that is I just have my own place. So just
Okay.
moving to San Diego with my girlfriend, have our
Yeah.
own place, can kind of just do my thing from home and leave to go grocery shopping and be healthy, like run it. Other than that, we're not really socializing.
Yeah. No, that's dope. Yeah, it's pretty crazy what's going on out in the world right now. Because, I mean, all over the internet is just insane with people just like, I'm not going to wear a mask. The virus is fake, like all that stuff. I'm like, dude, come on. What are you talking about? It's just, people
Yeah,
are so naive nowadays. It's insane. Um,
it's rough.
yeah. But you seem like you take your health pretty seriously then, right?
Yeah, I mean,
More or less. I
for
think
me,
we all do.
it's not just me. Like it's different. I mean, I do, but
Yeah.
I think it's bigger than that with this. I think it's more about we or the community in general is that we all have to take care of ourselves, not only to take care of ourselves, but to take care of each other.
Yeah. I
And
wish everybody
I
thought like
understand that
that.
that's like a I think deep down people do. However, I just think they're not understanding how this works.
Right.
So I think that if I don't know if I blame the people necessarily. I'm a little more optimistic, but
Yeah, that's true.
maybe they actually just are like that. I don't know. Is my friend group? I realized how much of a bubble I lived in when I saw the general population's reaction to this. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, at first I was definitely scared. Like, I totally get what you mean. With what I do for work, I was,
what do
we
you
were,
do?
I do commercial HVAC, so I do like heating and air conditioning, for commercial
Okay.
buildings, like big buildings and retail stores and stuff like that. Um,
Yeah, I have a
and
friend who does
oh,
stuff
nice.
similar to
Yeah, it's pretty terrible right now, given like the temperature right now, because it's insane. We're
that.
just sweating on top of a roof all day, but um,
He's the suit guy. He goes around and supervises,
oh
tells everything where
wow,
it goes.
yeah, yeah,
He's like
yeah.
the math
He
guy.
just points the finger and he's like, "Yeah, you got to do that, do that, do that," and I'm gonna go chill. That's the best.
Yeah, he sent me a video once that he made with a GoPro of a time lapse of them using a helicopter to airdrop AC units all over a
Oh
roof.
my god,
It was
yeah.
awesome.
Sometimes you got to do that when you can't use a crane. It's insane. Like some buildings in San
It was
Francisco.
sick.
Yeah, it's dope. It's pretty badass. I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
I've never had to do that, but I can just imagine it's pretty
yeah.
sick. I have friends in the city, San
That's cool,
Francisco.
man. Well, good work.
Yeah, man,
Respect.
it's cool. It's cool. It is a pain in the ass, but
That's awesome.
that's what I'm doing for now. But like I was saying though,
That's okay. Probably
the
keeps you fit.
yeah, it does. I actually, well, over the quarantine, I lost like 15 pounds. I used to be a little heavier, and I lost a lot of weight.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Congratulations, if that was your intention, and if
it
not, then
no,
I'm sorry.
yeah, no, I was not planning on doing that. I just, when I'm not active, I just get, I'm just never hungry when I'm not active. Because so what I was saying was that our company shut down, and I was out of work for 3 months, and it was just me just playing video
I'm
games
sorry,
and
man.
podcasting. But it was whatever. It's past. I'm back to work now.
What are
So,
you playing?
Warzone, Call of Duty.
Nice. Hell yeah. Oh, that's awesome, man.
Have you been on that at all? Or are you not into video games?
No,
Yeah.
I game, but I play like Magic the Gathering. It's a card game.
Okay.
So,
Yeah,
and I just played that online.
I'm not too big into video games, but I did grow up playing like Warzone stuff like that, and
Hmm.
I don't know or not Warzone. I didn't grow up playing that, but I grew up playing like Call of Duty. So when my friends got it, I was like, all right, I guess I got to get
Likewise,
it. So you're just gonna follow
it
your
is very
friends.
fun. I do enjoy it.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
god awful, but
yeah,
it's
it's
fun, right?
fun
Doesn't
until
matter how
you
good you are.
oh yeah until you get your ass beat several times. Like all right, I'm done for the week. I was getting pissed off. It's all good. It gets old fast. But back to your photography really quick. I saw that you have like a challenge going on your Twitter. What's that
Oh
about?
yeah,
The raw photo
yeah.
challenge?
So yeah, I mean that's part of Twitch obviously if you game, but Twitch is a streaming platform that you can use to
Hmm.
you know lead a community, foster a community, create a
Yeah,
community, and that's one of the Twitch shows that I do on there, or whatever you want to call it. We have different segments, and I'm just building it out. I've only been doing it for 3 months. We don't get that many viewers, but it's a fun practice, and not only on my end, finding people to work with on it and do community-based projects, but also to just roll out. I don't know, just do stuff, be active, do
yeah, for
something
sure.
that brings people together,
Kind of keep your
and
brain
it's
rolling.
something that I'm passionate about. Yeah, it's something I'm passionate about, and it helps me on a lot of different fronts from learning all the different things I want to learn.
For
So
sure.
that's just kind of the goal there.
Yeah.
The Rodding Challenge specifically, people like a photographer release a photo, for a week that's raw. So it's like unedited, and people will edit it. And then on Sunday, we all hang out and they talk about the edits and they go over how they would edit it and do an interview. And it's just a fun bringing
Nice.
together of people.
So are you
Yeah.
taking those submissions? I couldn't remember if I saw. Excuse me. Are you taking those submissions through Twitter or are you? How does that work?
Yep. Hashtag Instagram is super lax. It's not like there's a prize or anything.
Oh, okay.
It's just like a practice to improve your editing skills and how
So
you
you,
see images
so
and
you
stuff.
said that someone can upload a unedited photo and then other people edit it.
Yeah, well, not someone random. It's we specifically select professional photographers to do it.
Oh, I
So
see.
like we've had, the Killer's photographer or
Oh,
Billie
wow.
Eilish's photographer. They'll release a photo of their artist, and then people get to edit it. And it's pretty fun.
That's dope. Yeah, I thought that was.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm obviously not a photographer, but when I was interested in
Very good.
asking you on, I was. I did a little dive on your socials, just more so Twitter, just because your Instagram is not really active. But
It's
I did
DDD
notice
dead.
that. I did notice that you had the Twitch account, and then you had the that challenge going on. I was also
Yeah.
curious if you, at like the beginning of COVID, when you kind of realized that you weren't going to be obviously shooting at concerts or this and that,
Hmm.
if you maybe even do so now, but if you've ever like thought about giving some, like photography, like entry to photography or any kind of workshops or like how to start photography from 101 or something like that. Did you ever think about writing like some kind of like a book or something?
Yeah, I mean, I do workshops. So I do them in real life, and I do them online. I have one on Friday. I do stuff with Sigma, which is a lens company. So I'll do them with different camera companies around the U.S. through like an online streaming
Hmm.
app. And
Yeah.
I have a lot of blog posts that kind of touch on things like that. I don't have anything official in book form
Oh
yet,
yeah.
but don't give away all my secrets.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's coming.
yeah,
Maybe.
yeah. There's big projects I'm working on, but I haven't made anything like that yet, really, um,
Cool.
other than workshop form.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting too, especially when you have like an artist background, especially when it comes to photography, where it's solely based on just being a part of an audience or just even like a concert vibe. I can only
Hmm.
imagine once this all happened, you might have just been like, what the hell am I gonna do? Or did you feel like that at all?
I mean, to be honest, not really, because I mean, I always find stuff to do. It
That's
just
good.
sometimes takes a little bit longer. I would never really get worried about stuff. I'm more just focused on what I can do to solve it. So as
Yeah.
soon as it happened, I took a little bit of time, maybe like a month or so, to kind of get situated and figure out exactly what was going on and how long it was going to take and what I needed to figure out, and then
Yeah.
started coming up with ideas and figuring out what made sense. So
Yeah,
that's
that's
kind of where I'm
dope.
at.
Yeah, I think I mean, it seems like you have a pretty solid work ethic and you have like an idea of you just not really wanting to just sit around or you're not going to let this unmotivate you in a sense. So I think that's dope that you're able to do that because I feel like a lot of people, don't have that kind of mindset. And that's kind of crappy. I mean, we can't help it, obviously, for the people who can't,
I
but
mean,
um,
it goes through phases. It happens. I've
yeah,
been there, and it is still. I'm sure it'll happen in the future. It's happened in the past. So
yeah.
um, it just depends what you're doing, and if you like it and enjoy it, it just really affects it.
Yeah, that's like for me. I mean, you were able to figure out your own stuff, and I really this podcast was, it kind of saved me just to just put out content of me just joking around and saying just some dumb stuff and having fun, and then really just playing video games. That's all I was doing, and playing guitar, and that's it.
Hey
That's all I was
man,
able to
it's
do
okay.
with my time. I started skating a little bit more, but
That's
then
great.
but then I fell,
Sounds
and
like pretty good healthy activities.
yeah, it
So
was
yeah, that's
cool.
rough.
And then I fell, and I was like, you know what? Even if I'm able to go back to work soon, I probably shouldn't break my leg right before. But
Yeah, you need to be able-bodied. The
exactly.
hospitals are a disaster right now too. You don't want to be there.
Oh, I know. Seriously, it's disgusting. I that's like, I was telling my friend on one of my episodes that I if there's ever anything wrong with me, the hospital is the last place I'll go. I always just like unless I break something, but I just
Yeah,
try to stay away from the hospital at all costs.
it's your last resort.
Exactly. Yeah. I'll like look everything up. I'll band-aid it up as much as I need to, but I have no intention to go to the hospital anytime soon.
Fair enough.
But
Fair enough.
I was curious, did you ever play music when you were growing up?
No.
No.
No. That's the
Just
short answer. No.
yeah, just no interest at all.
Interest, but just not obviously not enough interest to be good at it or try
Yeah.
it. I mean, I was in like choir at school, and I have a guitar now. I can play like one or two songs that I got it like a few years ago, so that's been
Okay.
fun. I enjoy just strumming on it.
Yeah.
I don't really like have any intention of becoming good at it. I just use it as like something I enjoy doing.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
fun to do. I'll probably play the guitar twice a month.
Yeah, you know what? I've been playing since I was in 7th grade and I never
Oh
play
wow!
anymore.
Congrats, that's awesome.
I mean,
Oh no.
maybe congrats, but I had a long run in high school when I really got
Mm.
into it. I was learning like Day to Remember, Asking Alexandria, bands like that. I was learning like all their
Mhm.
songs. And then I like graduated high school and then life kind of went a little fast for me, so I just like had to keep up with that and I just put guitar to the side and now just like you said, I maybe play like a couple times a week, but not as much as
That's
I need
awesome.
to.
Well, that's okay.
Yeah. I
Yeah, man.
realized I
If it works for you,
realized
that's all that matters.
Right. I realized that I wasn't going to be a rock star when I was like 20. So I was like, yeah, maybe I'll try some other things. But did you ever get into like action sports at all? Like maybe skating or something like that? You look like a skater.
I mean, I did rollerblading when I like,
Oh,
aggressive in
no
line, whatever you want to call
way.
it.
Dude,
I
that's
did
dope.
that when I was in high school, but I was pretty bad.
Oh,
I probably
really?
did that for like three or 4 years. Yeah, I could maybe jump like a few stairs, and I could never really grind anything. But I
Yeah.
just like skating around. Honestly, I just enjoy that feeling.
Yeah, no,
And
that's it's
yeah,
crazy when I
I'm
was
not a
growing
very
up.
athletic person.
Yeah, I mean, really same. I mean, as far as sports, I wasn't, but skating, I was a skater
Hmm.
for years. But those dudes on rollerblades, man, those guys are insane. Like, I'll go to like
Yeah, they're crazy.
when I was a kid, I would go to like a skate park, and these dudes are doing like backflips out of the balls. I'm like, bro, chill, come on, you're showing off too
They're
much, man.
psychos. I feel like I just like was too careful to do it. Like all my friends were really good at it. We're like a certain level of psycho, and I was like, all right, they are a little
Yeah.
bit nuttier than me. I don't know if this is the sport for me.
Oh man, that's insane. Um, but anyways, so everything seems good with you. You're staying healthy and stuff like that. I was just curious on like. By the way, this is just how my brain works. I'm always scattered. So if we go back
You're
and
fine.
forth to a topic,
Don't worry
it's
about it, man.
that's just how my brain is. But
Keep it interesting. You're chill.
yeah, right on. When it comes to like working with a new band, because I know you said you worked with like a couple smaller ones, like Warp Tour bands, stuff like that. Do you
Mhm.
have to like sign like a deal with them in terms of like obviously being their photographer and stuff like that, or you know I don't want to get too into details on like paying or stuff like that, but do you have to like say, hey, I'm taking these photos, they're my property, or this and that? Like, are there like written out regulations for you on your behalf?
I mean, a lot of the art, for me specifically, can't speak for other photographers. For me specifically, no, I'm pretty contractless for the most part. It's usually like, hey, come on this tour with us, do what you do, we'll pay you this much. They provide everything for you. That's kind of understood it. But the people I work with, I'm so close with that it's just never been a business transaction, really. I mean,
Okay.
if I do work for somebody like Diplo or Major Lazer, there's stuff signed, but it's mostly like I'll usually sign like an NDA, and then I don't really sign like I'm not an employee, so
Yeah. I
and
mean,
then
you're your own.
it's just
You'd be considered like your own private contractor. Is that what it is?
yeah, it's not work for hire. So work for hire is a little different. Work for hire, you're basically just there fulfilling a role. They own the photos usually, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm more brought on as a creative, and I own everything. And I
Nice.
just shoot for them, and I provide them with content. And then if they want to use the photos for other stuff, they usually just buy them off me.
That's
So
dope. Hell yeah.
yeah.
What was working with Diplo like? That probably would have been a crazy scene with his shows.
Yeah, he's nuts. I mean, the shows are cool. The off days are even crazier. He's just I really respect the way he lives. I respect the way he operates. I don't have, I mean, I look up to him as an artist. So
Yeah, for sure.
it's really something that I wanted to do work with him for a long time. So it took me a while, but I was happy I got to do what I did, and I'll hopefully work with him again in the future.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, he's you've been to like Coachella and stuff like that. So do you know what Stagecoach is, like the country version?
Yep. Yep.
He was there, and I didn't realize like how good his mixes were because I'm not really into that. Oh, I'm like working my way into that kind of music, and
Hmm.
he had a set there with like Lil Nas X, and it was dope. It was insane. So I thought,
That's
all right,
awesome. Yeah,
this guy's
he was
cool.
very excited for that. I remember.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is cool.
it was honestly like a change of obviously you're at a country festival, so when you listen to
Hmm.
music like that, it's like whoa, dude, that was a way to end the show, insane. And anyways, I just I didn't know. And then I listened to him on a podcast, and I was like, oh wow, this guy's. I mean, he's an artist, so you know the way he thinks is going to be very broad. Like, you know,
Hmm.
he has an imagination that's crazy. Um, but I was yeah, I was just curious on what working with him like what is has any have you worked with that maybe you thought was going to be. I mean, I guess you don't have to name names, but just like you could just say in
Hmm.
general, like have there been any bands that you were just like I don't know if I could do this with you guys and stuff like that. You don't have to name any names.
I won't. Um, I mean, there's definitely been situations that I've walked into expecting one thing and been totally blown in the other direction, whether it be positive or negative.
Yeah.
I don't really can't speak to the actual instances, or I won't name names, obviously, but I definitely have had that happen. I think I'm more at fault than they are. It's probably me just assuming too many things rather than just being open to the experience. So yeah, I don't really assume too much anymore.
Yeah.
And I won't work with people who are uh, whose values don't align with mine.
Yeah, no,
So
I think that's awesome. I mean, that's smart. And I'm sure you probably had that same kind of mentality when, even when you were younger, in the
I
beginning too.
wish.
Oh, really? Well, now you
I
know.
mean, there's like it changes, right? Like when you're starting out, you kind of take everything you get and you jump at every opportunity because they're all headed in the direction you're heading. And then as your career advances or changes or morphs or whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
uh, what I do on a day-to-day basis affects who I am and how I operate. So it's became a little bit more valuable to me as my values changed and I got a little older.
Yeah. That's cool, man. Um, so would you have considered yourself like to be like independent more in like your early 20s or like late 20s, like like moving out of your parents' house? Like was that especially like if was your sole job and money making, was that just photography or did you work like other jobs?
I mean, everything I did was under the photography scope of things, but I had different things I did within it. Like I would do workshops, or I'd sell these bracelets that were like a big part of my income, or I'd do merchandise. I had a ton of work tour. Like I did all these other things that were
Yeah.
kind of under the photography world, but I never, I didn't like work at Starbucks while I was doing photography.
Okay.
I've considered it. I like the consistency, but the
Yeah.
self-employed life is definitely fun. And yeah, I mean, I moved out when I was 19, but I mean, I actually moved
Nice.
in with my mom again when I was like 22 because she moved to California and we got a place together.
Nice.
And um, yeah, I mean, I spent most time on the road, so it was really irrelevant where I lived as long as it was a safe place for my gear and my hard drives and stuff when I was gone.
Right.
So when I returned home, it was reliable that those were still in the same state I left them.
Yeah, dude, that's
That's kind of
awesome.
my
So yeah, I mean, I guess you would say you were independent from a really young age. I mean, more so than kids nowadays. Oh my god, it's insane. But yeah, because definitely, dude, you were like you pretty much already had like, it seems like you already had a vision of like you wanted to do your own thing and like create your own art, and you kind of maybe knew that that was where you were headed in the future. So that's badass. Hell yeah, I got respect for that.
I think you're giving me more credit for than what I thought. It was more like looking back, this is what I did, but looking forward, I didn't know what I was doing. I was kind
Okay.
of just doing one thing after the other.
Yeah,
So
but
in
that.
retrospect, I can be like, I did this, this, and this, but doing it, I was like, I don't know, man. We're
Yeah.
making it up as we
That's
go.
true. I mean, I'm like that too, but I feel like, I'm pretty good at self reflect and like seeing where it is
Hmm.
I came from. And I think,
Hmm.
like I've always been kind of level headed, and I try to give myself a little more credit for just little things. And
That's good.
I think
I
people
like
should.
that.
Yeah. And I always try to preach that on my
All
podcast
right.
every now and
I'll
then.
think about that.
There's some bumps in the road for sure, but, we're just here to have a good time, do what we can with who we can, have a blast.
Hmm. I like that.
Um, so I was just one more thing I was curious about was did you have
Hmm.
any like vacations and stuff that were planned this year that got canceled, or were you just gonna just concert it up?
I don't really vacation. Honestly, I had a vacation that got scheduled because of Corona. So I just drove around the US with my girlfriend for like 40 days, kind of
Nice.
just staying at Airbnbs and at my friend's place in Wisconsin.
Nice.
Just social distancing and enjoying the U.S. Well, for me, I work so often. I still worked in stream while I was on the road, but I don't have any of the location restricting
Yeah,
jobs
for
right
sure.
now. So I wanted to take advantage of that free time.
You
But
know
yeah,
what's
as far as vacations, nah, nothing but.
yeah, you know what's cool? I don't know if you've seen or have anything to do with TikTok, but I love TikTok.
Mhm.
And
Awesome.
there's some cool videos on there of people like turning vans into like small living spaces or anything that they can
Oh yeah,
travel
those are
the
awesome.
country in. And I was like, dude, that would be
Yeah,
so fun to do. Oh my god.
yeah, those vans, they people deck those things out. That's
I'm
just
like,
awesome.
I
I
know it's
respect that
it's
too.
badass, and it's like, but dude, how much money did you spend on it? That's the question. Because I would love to do that, but geez, I ain't got that.
Enough.
I ain't got that kind of bank.
I'm sure you can do it on the cheap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably. But if you want to live in the thing and travel like the world, or like not the world, but the U.S., I'd want to have it comfy
Hmm.
for sure.
Yes, definitely comfortable.
Yeah.
Definitely a mattress somewhere in there.
What do you think is gonna happen in the next couple of months? How do you think this turns out
For me or Corona,
for the world and
I don't know.
yourself?
Same, more of what's happening.
Yeah,
Basically,
it's a
I don't
shame.
know. My brother lives in China, so he's like the future.
Oh
So
wow.
they're all good over there now.
Oh,
But
they had that thing
until
under
we get our
wraps right
stuff
away.
together, yeah, I mean, this is probably the only plus side of having your government control you to the level they do. But
Oh yeah,
we're seeing what it's like when you swing in the other direction.
I know.
So yeah, I don't really have any expectations. I'm just taking it week by week at this point and just doing my
Yeah,
own thing. I'm not really setting myself up for disappointment to assume anything else. I will wait to plan when everything starts coming back together.
for sure. Probably the best way to go about it too, because there's definitely been times where
I
I'm like,
like to think so.
yeah. I mean, there's definitely been times where I'm like, dude, I hope this is over within the next 2 months, and I said that 3 months ago. So that's not
Yeah,
happening.
I
But
wouldn't put it. I mean, until they start doing stuff more strict or people take it more seriously, it's going to be months until
oh yeah,
once that thing starts, then you can say, okay, a few months from here. But until then,
it'll for sure go into next year. I almost guarantee it. Oh, by the way,
Mhm.
I was curious if you'd seen the photos of how they're doing concerts in Europe. They have like the stage, and then they have like the little caged off areas for each individual group. Have you seen
That looks
those?
awesome.
It
I wasn't sure if it
actually
was an
looks really
actual
cool.
concert. Was it a concept or was it real?
Uh, I mean,
I wasn't sure.
I don't
Either
know
way, it's
either.
cool.
I think they said that that's how they plan to do it. So I'm not sure if it was real, but that's honestly a pretty solid idea. I think
Yeah, I fuck with that. That's
it's
cool. I
like
like it.
you're not like because obviously you've probably been in those crowds. It's disgusting, especially after
Yeah,
especially
you're not
after
able to stay
COVID.
safe right now if you're in a
Oh
crowd
no
like that.
way. But then I was like, well, damn, that's probably gonna be tricky for. I mean, maybe not be tricky for like photographers because a lot of what you guys shoot is the crowd from the stage. So it's like that might look kind of weird. But if that's the new
I
normal,
mean,
that's the new normal.
yeah, if that's what it is.
That's
If
insane,
that's what it
dude.
is, then that the other job is to capture it. So
Hmm.
it'll be fine. It's kind of cool. It'll look cool in like 20 years. You're like, this is how concerts work for a year. You're like,
Exactly.
what the
Like
hell?
1 year, like 2019, it was full crowds, everyone spreading the germs, and then 2020 is caged off groups individually, which is, if that's how it's got to be, it's how it's got
I'm
to
all
be.
about it.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to
I
it,
wish all
honestly.
concerts were like that forever.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they will be. Maybe they will be for now. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think the mask thing that's definitely gonna stick around for a while. And I mean, even places like Japan, like they've always worn masks when they were sick. I've never been there, but this is
Hmm.
from stuff that I'm hearing on podcasts I listen to. They've always worn
Well, yeah,
masks.
they travel so close together, they have to.
Oh yeah, it's. I mean, they're super crowded, and
It's very
everyone's.
high population density,
Oh
so they
yeah,
do that. Otherwise, everybody gets sick all the time.
yeah, and then like now, the rates of COVID there, like maybe like 1,000 people have died. It's very low, very. So I was like, but they're a super disciplined heritage, so it makes sense. Whereas America is not, so that's fine. um,
Yeah, it's a little different here.
yeah, a little bit. One more thing I wanted to ask you was if you
Hmm.
if you normally listen to podcasts at all, or if you like, what kind of stuff are you into if you do, or if you've ever been on any other ones.
Uh, been on a few different podcasts. Nothing too like crazy. Like I did one called Black with No Cream, which is like creators, and I've done my friends called Where Are All My Friends, some random stuff for people.
Yeah.
And then I personally I've listened to a few of Joe Rogan's episodes. I really think that I like his conversation. I think that I like that he has people on that I disagree and agree with.
Yeah, he's my idol.
I vibe that.
For sure.
Yeah, so I vibe. I know it gets a lot of hate, but when you're successful, you get a lot of hate. So he's doing something right.
For sure.
And then me personally, I listen to Magic the Gathering podcast. So I listen to 2 a week, and they're just like they talk about the game in depth and very specific to how I play. So that's really fun.
Yeah, dude, that's dope. Yeah, see, I tell people there's podcasts for literally everything. It's insane.
Oh yeah,
there's so many.
It's great. It's just conversation.
Yeah,
conversations. People want to talk about everything.
It's dope, and it's funny too because like, before I started, I was like, dude, who's gonna listen to this? And then I started listening to these podcasts, and they're like, dude, people just like listening to people talk, and I was like, all right, then let's do it. And Joe Rogan alone, he's the main inspiration of me doing this podcast. So it's been a fun ride.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah,
that's great to hear.
He got me to do stand-up comedy for the first time, just hit by his words on this podcast. So that's always fun, man. I'm always trying to do new things and improve and have a good time. It seems like you're the same.
Comedy is not easy. Respect it.
Yeah. Right on, dude. Right on. Well, hey, man. I'm super grateful that you decided to do this for me, and I had a really good time talking to you.
Thank you for asking me.
Yeah, man. No problem.
Hey, likewise.
I hope
you did a great job.
Oh, thanks, man.
Went by fast.
Yeah, that's usually what I tell people too. For the guests that I've had on who haven't been on a show before or a podcast, I'm like, dude, it goes by really quick. But anyways,
I've done interviews that don't go by quick. So
that's true. That is true. Well, dude, I hope you stay healthy. I hope everything works out for you later on, and I'll probably keep in contact with you to see how you're doing after whenever this ends, and maybe we could do another one.
Let me know, dude. Hit me up if you're ever in.
For sure, man. Well, hey, dude,
I'll
let you go.
Connecting with anybody.
Right on. Yeah, dude, that would be awesome. I'd really appreciate that. Maybe I'll take you up on that later.
All right.
All right, Adam. Thanks, man. I really appreciate it.
Joseph, right?
Yes, that's right.
You go by Joseph?
Yeah, Joe, Joseph, whatever. It's all good.
All
right, dude.
Joe, Joseph, Mr. Fontana.
Yeah,
nice.
That's right. That's right. All right, man. Talk to you later.
Later.
See you, man.
Later.
And there you have it, guys. Podcast with Adam Elmakias, dopest fucking photographer in the game, the concert game. Like I said, I hope you enjoy the episode. Sorry for the little buzzes that were going on in the audio. I couldn't really get around it. I'm not really sure what that was or where it came from. But, that's something that I got to work with and deal with in the meantime because, I don't have the luxury to meet face-to-face with some of these people, which makes it a little difficult in my perspective because, a lot of people that I am interested in having on the show either live in SoCal or somewhere, somewhere else in the U.S., but, I got to do what I can with what I got. So I hope you guys don't mind that too much. And if I do end up doing more Zoom podcasts, I will definitely be looking into how to make them the most highly productive that I can, or highly produced, I should say. But regardless, super, super grateful to have him on the show. And I hope, some of his listeners are listening. And if you are, thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I'm always looking for new listeners. And if you enjoyed the episode, go check out some of my other ones. I got a couple of funny ones, my solo episodes, this and that. But anyways, I'm going to head out of here, start editing this podcast. So I really appreciate you guys listening. I love you. I say it every week, multiple times. And I'll catch you guys on the next episode. Peace.